Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Dear students, welcome in Pakistan International School Taif, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Virtual Learning System Session 2020. This is English for grade 6. Name of the book is Around the World in 80 Days. And this is a novel. Today's lecture is lecture number 24. We are going to start again with chapter number 1. Phileas Fogg and Passepartout accept each other as master and servant. We'll do the reading and exercise, inshallah. I'm your new teacher for grade 6, Adnan Sabir Mirza. And since this book is a new one, so we are doing it again because there are changes in the previous book and the new book. You can see the title on the screen. All of you are advised to purchase this book from the bookshop or arrange. The previous book is no more valid since the wording is different and exercises are different. So we start in the name of Allah. So boys and girls, first of all, you must know about the story. This is a very interesting story, and there is a movie available on YouTube, and you can see it. I have been showing the movie to my students during the previous years. The hero is very famous one, Jackie Chan. And he is the Chinese hero, but he works in the Hollywood, the American movies. So the characters of the story are Mr. Phileas Fogg. Mr. Phileas Fogg is the master of Savile Row. He is a rich man. And Jean Passepartout, servant of Mr. Phileas Fogg. So mainly these are two characters, and Fix. Fix is a detective who is chasing both of them, and Auda or Mrs. Auda is a Parsi woman. John Sullivan, Samuel Flanton, Andrew Stott, Gauthier Ralph, and Thomas Flanagan. These all are friends of Mr. Fogg or Phileas Fogg. So this was the introduction about the characters. You should know who are they and what is their relation. This is a small introduction of them. You will know in the story about them as we go forward. You will know how they behave and how they act. Dear students, the reading give you a taste of the English literature, and you must concentrate on the reading for better understanding. You can enjoy the movie, but I recommend you to read the novel first, then watch the movie. Or you can do both these things side by side. It will take more time to do the reading and it will be good for your studies. But the reading is more important, and watching movie is to make understanding or enjoy. The reading is also enjoyable. So let's start. I will stop the my video and you will see only the text. So open your books or see on the screen. Here we are, chapter number 1. Phileas Fogg and Passepartout accept each other as master and servant. Mr. Phileas Fogg lived in 1872 at number 7 Savile Row, Burlington Gardens, London. It is in the England, United Kingdom. He was a man of few words and little was known about him apart from the fact that he was a thorough gentleman. People often said that he resembled the poet Lord Byron. Resembled means he was like him. His face was like Byron's. He reflected a bearded and composed Byron. Bearded means with beard. Everyone doubted whether Phileas Fogg belonged to London, as he was never seen at the bank nor at the stock exchange of the city. His acquaintance would often claim to have never seen him anywhere. Acquaintance means relationship or know how about. He had no public employment. Fogg was neither a manufacturer nor a merchant or farmer, nor was he a member of the numerous societies that formed part of the English capital, be it the Harmonica Society or the Scientific Society. So nothing is known about him, but he was very rich. Phileas Fogg was one of the most prominent members of the Reform Club, and that was all. He had got admission into this exclusive club with the recommendation of Baring's brothers, where he kept his money. His checks were regularly paid from his account, which always had plenty of money. Was Phileas Fogg rich? Undoubtedly, but people who knew him could not imagine how he had made his fortune, and Mr. Fogg was the last person from whom they could get the information. Means nobody else knew about it. He was neither ostentatious nor stingy. He was very thorough gentleman. He was not neither angry or neither a fighter, and he was always ready to donate money for a noble, useful, and benevolent cause. So he was generous. He was helpful. He was not a rude person. He was not a biting person. Stingy means bite. Ostentatious mean he was not a problem maker. His sole pastime were reading papers and playing whist in the club which he often won. Sole pastime, sole means only. Pastime means to do in the free time, to pass the time. And whist is a cards game. ostentatious, ostentatious, showy, waste a game of cards. For him, the game was a contest, a struggle with difficulty. His winnings never went into his purse but were given as a fund to the charities. He had lunch and dinner at the club in the same room at the same table and went home only at midnight to sleep in his house in Savile Row. Phyllis Fogg lived alone. He neither had a wife nor children, nor relatives or friends. He would spend 10 hours out of 24 in Savile Row, either sleeping or preparing himself to go out. The mansion in Savile Row was not sumptuous but comfortable. Phileas Fogg had a servant, James Foster, who lived with him. Though Fogg was less demanding, he wanted Foster to be superhumanly prompt and perfect in his service. On this very 2nd of October, Phileas Fogg had dismissed James Foster for having brought shaving water at 84 degrees Fahrenheit instead of 86. It was waiting for a new servant. He was waiting for a new servant who was due at house between 11 and half past. So he was very strict with his rules. Suddenly, a rap sounded on the door of the drawing room. At exactly 11:30, James Foster, the dismissed servants, appeared. The new servant had come. James Foster announced. A young man of about 30 years of age came forward and bowed. Bowed means he moved forward his body in respect, like a respectful manner to show his humbleness. Are you a Frenchman? I think. Asked Phileas Fogg, and your name is John? Jean passport out, replied the young man. A surname that has clung to me because I have a tendency to change one job after another. I have been a street singer, a circus rider, then I became a professor of gymnastics. Later, I took up a job of fireman in Paris. I left France 5 years ago and took service as a valet here in England. Now I am out of work and have heard about you, the polished man of the United Kingdom, and came to you in the hope of living a peaceful life and forever forgetting the name of Pascal. You have been well recommended to me. You know my conditions, asked Fogg. Yes, sir, replied Pascal. Good. What time is it? Asked Phileas Fogg. 22 minutes past 11, answered Passepartout, taking out a silver watch from his pocket. You are slow, said Fogg. Pardon me, sir, but that's impossible, said Passepartout. You are 4 minutes slow, no matter, it is enough to mention the error. Now, from this moment, 29 minutes past 11 a.m., this Wednesday, October 22nd, 1872, you are in my service, said Fogg. Saying this, Phileas Fogg got up, took his hat and put it on his head and walked off. Passepartout had the door shut twice. First it was the master going out, and the second was his predecessor, James Foster, departing from the house. Predecessor means the person who was the servant before him. So now Passepartout was the servant. The first servant was the predecessor. During his brief interview with Mr. Fogg, Passepartout had observed his master carefully. Phileas Fogg appeared to him a man of about 40 years of age, with fine and handsome features and a tall figure. His forehead was unwrinkled. Unwrinkled means there were no wrinkles. His forehead was plain, clear, flat, was unwrinkled and face rather pale, but his teeth were magnificent. He was calm and clear-eyed. Clear-eyed means his eyes were clear. Miss Fogg gave an impression of a well-composed Englishman. As for Passepartout, he was an honest man with a pleasant face. He was soft-mannered and hopeful. His eyes were blue, his appearance rubicund, his body was muscular and physical powers well developed by exercise of his younger days. But would Passepartout turn out to be as methodical as his master required? Experience alone could show Passepartout had been a wanderer in his young youth and now yearned for peace. So far, he had served in about 10 English homes, but found his masters to be whimsical, irregular, and constantly running from their homes. Rubicund means reddish faced. Whimsical, impulsive means to get angry very soon. From their homes in search of adventure. When he heard that Phileas Fogg was looking for a servant and led a peaceful life, he thought that this was the place he wanted to go. And when he met Phileas Fogg, he found him exactly as he wanted. Passepartout was now left alone in the house at Savile Row. He began inspecting the house from cellar to attic. Cellar means the fireplace, and attic, 1 minute. A space or room inside or partly inside the roof of the building. He was pleased to see a clean and well-arranged mansion. When Passepartout reached the second floor, he recognized the room that was meant for him. On the mantel stood an electric clock. Hung over the clock was a card, which was the program of daily routine of the master and servant of the house. From 8 in the morning till midnight, when Phileas Fogg retired, even Fogg's wardrobe and shoes bore a number, indicating the time of the year and season at which they were to be laid out to be worn by Mr. Fogg. In short, everything in Savile Row, including the master, was organized and systematic. Satisfied with all he had inspected, Passepartout calmly, joyfully, this is what I wanted a real machine. A real machine. So this was the end of chapter number 1. We have questions and exercises. Answer the following questions. What do you know about Phileas Fogg as a person? Number 2, why had Phileas Fogg dismissed James Foster? Number 3, which of the following adjectives describe Mr. Fogg correctly? Give reason for your choice. Polished, vulgar, well-informed, ignorant, impulsive, orderly, verbose, precise. Number 4, what did Mr. Fogg do at his club? Number 5, what do you learn about Passport Out and what were his observations about his master? Number 6, Passport Out had done many things to earn his living. Which of them would you prefer? So these are the questions. At the end of it, I've answered these. Mr. Number 1, Mr. Fogg was a man of few words. He had beard and was a composed and thorough gentleman. Number 2, Mr. Phileas Fogg dismissed James Foster because he brought him water at 84-degree Fahrenheit instead of 86. Number 3, impulsive because Mr. Fogg dismissed his servant over a small mistake. Number 4, he read newspaper, played games, and had his lunch and dinner in the club. Number 5, played games or wished. You can write wished. Number 5, Passport Out was an honest, soft-mannered, and helpful man with a pleasant smile. He observed that Mr. Fogg was a tall, handsome man with unwrinkled forehead and a pale face with magnificent teeth and clear eyes. Number 6, I would like to be a firefighter because they work hard to save other people's life and property. So this was the question answer portion. Number 2, look up the meaning of the following words in the dictionary and then use any 5 of them in sentences of your own. Doubted, manufacturer, pastime, charity, sumptuous, bored, mention, and waste. They are also in the end. Doubted, disbelief. He was doubted with charge of theft. Manufacturer, one who made something. Who is the manufacturer of this car? Pastime, hobby. What is your favorite pastime? Charity, help. Charity begins at home. Sumptuous, splendid. He gave a sumptuous feast over his success. Bored, bent, had to show respect. To show respect. Okay. He bowed. He bowed to his master. Mention, refer to. Please mention the name of your school. Whist, a game of cards. I like to play whist in my free time. Number 3. What is number 3? Let's see. Yes. Yes, I've given the answers in the end as well as I have done the fill in the blanks for you. Number three, add the missing words in the following lines taken from the first chapter. Number one, his soul, soul, S-O-L-E, soul, soul. His sole pastime were reading papers and playing whist in the club, which he often won. Number two, on this very 22nd October, Phyllis Fogg had dismissed James Potter for having brought shaving water at 84 degrees Fahrenheit instead of 86. Number three, during his brief interview with Mr. Fogg, Passport Out had observed, O small, no need of capital O, observed his master carefully. Phileas Fogg appeared to him a man of about 40 years of age, with fine and handsome features and a tall figure. Let's do the correction in the end as well. Now, exercise 4. Match the following words in the list A with their synonyms, same meaning in the list B. Number 1, thorough. The answer is complete. Dear students, now since we are doing the exercise, you are supposed to complete the exercise not only in the book but also in your notebook, especially exercise number 1, the question answer section. Take the questions from here and take the answer from here and write them in your notebooks, copies of English. Okay, and learn them also. And then do second and third exercise and all exercise. And for exercise number 4, I don't want you to do the crossing like this. I want you to write the word from list A like this, all this, but write the answer in front of it. Like thorough, here you should write complete. Resemble, take after. Composed, formed of. Employment, occupation. Numerous, many. Society, civilization. Ostentatious, lavish display. Exercise 5. Match the following words in list A with their antonyms, opposite meaning in list B. So you will do the same thing. Write the words in this order and then write in front of it in your copies. Gentleman, rough. Everyone, nobody. Anywhere, nowhere. Public, private. Plenty, ignoble. Noble, uh, plenty, scarcity. Scarcity, yes. Noble, ignoble. Number 6. Put these words into correct order to make sentences. Employment, he, no, public, had. 2. Nor he, ostentatious, stingy, was neither. Club lunch and he at the dinner had. Phileas Fogg in Savile Row lived his in house alone. Wandered youth had in been passport out. You will write exactly the same like number 1. First write this and then write the answer in your copy from. like here. He had no public employment. He was neither ostentatious nor stingy. He had lunch at dinner and dinner at the club. Phileas Fogg lived alone in his house in Savile Row. Passport out had been a wonder in youth. So this is it. This is the end of chapter 1 and its exercise. So all you have to do is you can do the reading again, learn the meaning of difficult words, and then complete the exercise in your books and then notebooks in the copies. So if you have any problem, consult your dictionary, consult the book, do the reading. This is not a difficult thing. You will enjoy it, inshallah. So this is all from me for today now. Inshallah, see you very soon. And inshallah, my best wishes are for you. We'll continue with the next lesson. Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.